Hey, True Believers, Englentine here. So I was sent this article. It's like 3 years old. It's 2019, but I was reading through it and I thought it seemed interesting. Though because it's relevant to what we see today, especially in what I've learned as the black pill mindset. It's kind of the same. So I figured, what the heck? Let's go over it. I think it'll be fun. Hello to RDV who just popped in. How you doing?
Black pills?
Yeah. So
I know.
anywho, this thing says figuring out how to talk about female characters you don't like when you're feminist, and basically it's exactly the same thing. It would be the same thing if you were anti-SJW, which I am, and for the longest time I only made anti-SJW videos. What happens though when an SJW comic book creator does something good? According to everything and everybody that follows you, you should be hating on this. You should be going at this with a preconceived notion. So when I saw this article, somebody said, maybe that's why, because we've been talking about the black pill crowd recently. Maybe that's why it was sent to me. But it just seems relevant because I was reading this article, and I'll get to it in just a little bit. And it seemed very relevant to what we talk about when we talk about the black pill crowd, how they are, in fact, a shopping cart that you continue to push and just veers off in one direction, no matter what the situation calls for. So I wanted to see if we could read this, reading this article, it really does amount to the same thing. Not only, of course, the people who are making the videos, but there are a group of people who want to watch this because it's confirmation bias. They're saying what you want to hear, therefore you gather around, even if it ends up being untrue. I went through an entire video where I pointed out all the times that Doomcock said, this is dead, that's dead, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and it didn't. And it's always, sources. I could do that too. I have sources that tell me right now that Kathleen Kennedy is eating 5,000 Twinkies because she believes it'll take her to the moon. How are you going to tell me that I don't have sources? Nor how do you tell me that my sources are wrong? If you don't know who they are, if you don't know what I'm actually hearing or anything, I can make up any shit I want to. And of course, anytime I say that, somebody brings up the one or two times the guy was right. And look, there's a saying out there about a stopped clock. Trust me, I'm not falling for it. So I think it's kind of funny that somebody sent me a Mary Sue article, and I'm reading this, and I can attach it to either side. So there you go.
I'll just say this: when someone goes around and says, like, sources say this rumor this, you're CNN, and I don't care who you are. That's what CNN does. They just say, or according to our sources, it's all they ever say: sources. If you watch anything on CNN, even for 5 minutes, and you watch it the rest, and you keep watching, go back, the same story. According to our sources, they don't. A lot of times they don't use allegedly anymore because they already know the truth. So
yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Hello to Eric Brain. How you doing, sir?
Good evening.
You know what I was thinking? I was watching our video from last night, and I was thinking of all the ways that we could be taken down and everything, because me and Gail have been thinking and watching this as we watch these Christmas specials from 30, 40 years ago, like the Dean Martin Christmas special and so forth and so on. That might actually be 50. But here's a Christmas special where they're singing "It's a Marshmallow World" with a cigarette in their hand. And we just started recognizing all of the places that you used to be able to see a cigarette in somebody's hand. And God bless you, Eric Breen. I'm not even a smoker. I can't stand having somebody smoke near me. But God bless you for keeping up the smoking. I mean, you should quit for health. But God bless you, because you just don't see it around anymore. People are banning it. So.
Well, yeah, smoking was everywhere. You smoked inside hotels rooms. You could smoke in restaurants. They didn't have a non-smoking section. Non-smoking section was outside.
Let me say hello to Tahilium. If Englentine puts on a woman's wig, he would pass as MTF. I don't know what MTF is, but
male to female. I don't know.
Oh, male to female. Well,
or some YouTuber. I don't. MTF, is that a new?
The thing is if I put on a wig and I said that, according to them, they would have to accept that I am a staunch conservative, Trump-supporting transgender. By their own rules, they would have to accept that. Let's see. Hi, everybody. England, T just interrupted me watching Dateline Murder Mystery. What is notification? Well, thank you, computer bots. I appreciate it. And Disguise says, I dislike all of these bird videos until he shoots the bird. I certainly appreciate any of the interaction. Go on ahead and like or dislike this video according to your will. I am A-okay with both.
It's been 5 minutes. You can shoot him in the bird.
Being black-eyed. Yeah. It's the way I look at it. Anyway, you know, the black pill, the blue pill, whatever they call all those pills. Anywho, I figure let's get to this. Oh, let's see. Roger's saying that's something I was wondering about. The live action Cowboy Bebop, the anime is full of chain smoking. Let me guess, no smoking in that? I didn't even notice. I'm so used to not seeing smoke.
Oh, there's smoking in the show. Yeah, he's constantly smoking.
Hmm.
That was not as much, you know, but I mean, in the anime, yeah, he did smoke a lot. But yeah, remember, that was the freaking early 90s. It was like 19, you know, actually, it was actually not early 90s. It was more like mid to late 90s.
2000s.
1998, 2001.
Let's go over this thing. And my gosh, in order to read this, they were like, oh, don't forget to turn on all these damn ads.
Wait, Walmart's going to have a Twitter online shopping? Oh, no.
So, yeah, I'll turn off anything that I can. But it says, last night I was talking to a friend of mine about Star Wars. This, by the way, is from 2019. Like I said, it's old. And they said, don't tell anyone. I just don't like Rey. I think she's boring. And the other person said, well, I don't like this Wonder Woman 1984 trailer. It looks really bad. Well, that's astute. It ended up being really bad. One of the deeply frustrating aspects of working in the industry is seeing how quickly and often the leading conversation about a woman-led directed movie, especially if it's action or a comic book, is what men think about it. See, I've never thought about that. To me, that's something you do to yourself. If you're thinking that way, that's on you. Eric, have you ever forced a woman to see it your way? I mean, I've got a wife, so of course I have. But
sure
have you guys ever done this? I don't know anybody who has ever meant for or asked a woman to see something the same way men do. This is on you guys, and I mean the Mary Sue. Let's see. I want to have a conversation with other women who have complicated feelings. No, what? Now, wait a second. Are you suggesting that men do not have complicated feelings towards our opinions, towards these characters? If these kids would ever actually listen to what the guys are saying about these Mary Sue characters, then you would actually hear that their opinions come with actual complicated thoughts. And there are also women who have these same thoughts. Okay, let's see. Oh, and by the way, I like this because they end up that are for us. All right. Now, I do like Rey, and I think that the allure of her is getting to have a badass female Jedi in the media. That is important. However, Rey is also a Star Wars protagonist, which means there is an element of boring, typical protagonist aspects about her. Now, that, of course, is the blank slate. You put yourself into the hero and so forth and so on. We aren't doing it to say that she shouldn't be powerful or that she is a Mary Sue. Yes, she is. What my friend is saying. Now, how do we know what her friend is saying? Is this her actual? Because she never quoted her. So I'm assuming that she's making an assumption that she says what Rey feels like a canvas for young women to put themselves into and not a fully realized character. Now, she should be, because that a lot of the heroes' journeys actually end up doing that. The fact that she feels worried about saying it might make her look unfeminist is a disappointing reality. And here's a big problem with it. This is actually something to talk about, because ultimately, if you do that, you're being dishonest to your audience. He says, pausing for a comment. But point being is that Maraka Tamaki did a good job on Detective Comics. I owe you, as my viewers, my honest opinion. You might not agree with me, but if I'm just going to go, oh well, Maraka Tamaki did a horrible job. Once again, I'm just being that shopping cart veering off to one direction no matter what. Is it an honest opinion you want, or is it the same opinion that you have that you want? Because my go-to will always be give the honest opinion. Let's see. There's such thing as a Gary Stu character, which is the male version, says Maranya. Sailor Moon, Full Metal Alchemist, many other manga are popular with guys and are created by women. Yeah, I don't think that matters. Then Joe Rogers saying, yeah, because before Rey, there were no badass female Jedi. I do think, and this is me making an assumption, it's because Rey is the lead. Like Carrie Fisher, even though they praise her, was not enough to really count, I guess. I don't know. Okay, let me continue here. My lack of interest in Wonder Woman is well noted for blah, 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 yada, yada. I felt really bad about it. I felt like I was yucking other people's yum, and I felt like I was missing something by not having the emotional reaction other women had. What I realized is Wonder Woman, while a character I respect, was never an icon for me in that way, nor do images of beautiful white women in power. This is Princess what's-her-ass, isn't
Weeks.
it? Yeah. Oh, my gosh. This girl is so freaking sexist and racist all at the same time while saying other people are sexist and racist. Okay, where were we? I think I lost. There we are. There we are. What I realized is that Princess Week is an incredible racist, if I haven't said that anymore. Oh, and a sexist. She hates women. While a character I respect was never icon, blah, 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 blah. Plus, I just find the film version of her just very dull. I think Xena really spoiled me. I know other women of color. What color? What color, Princess Weeks? You got an entire rainbow of colors. You want to narrow it down to a few? Jesus, Lord. I hate that term. I really do. Had emotional reactions to Wonder Woman, and I don't miss that. But I think it's also fair for others to say, I want more. Of course. That's called a difference of opinion, you closed-minded ass. We should have a lot more room to say that we want more, that we want better, and that feminism is that only focuses on thin, cis, white women is really, really boring. Well, that's your opinion, but that's also a very sexist and racist opinion now, isn't it? But that's Princess Weeks. Empowerment is different than feminism, and I think so many of us want it to be the same, and it isn't, especially because I don't think it hurts anyone or feminism if some people love Wonder Woman and some people don't. I'm glad my coworkers and friends like it. I'm glad it meant so much to us and so many people. Do you guys realize the error in what she just said? She doesn't say how it's different. She doesn't say why it's different. She just goes on and says it's different, and you're supposed to accept it, and there's no backing up of her term. There's no backing up of her.
May interject.
Yeah. Go on ahead and interject away.
No logic does not exist on their side. And if you question them, and you are the one that it's the illogical. So it's best that's just avoid.
Okay. I think she goes on to lie that I think being able to talk about these things will not only make for better feminist discourse, but it will also push the conversation away from cis men. If you're having conversations through that spectrum, once again, Racist Weeks, it is on you. If we spend all our time arguing the right for these characters to exist, we never get a chance to talk about how we feel or what else they could be. That's with anything. Once again, closed-minded as ever, every character has a right to exist. Some people may want them or think they're not written well enough. Rey was not written well. She could have been. She should have been. We were all hoping she would be. Nobody was really looking at this going, oh my gosh, look, they have a female Jedi. Isn't that bad? Oh my gosh, look, there's a black stormtrooper. Isn't that bad? All right. So, and by the way, yes, I know there is a person out there that made a tweet. It wasn't the majority. It was a person. Leave it. After Black Christmas 2019 came up, did any of y'all see Black Christmas 2019?
Nope.
Was that a movie?
Oh, no, it wasn't. It was supposed to be. My gosh, you want to see the worst Mary Sue movie, the worst SJW movie I have seen in a long damn time is Black Christmas 2019. Gail, by the way, My very strong personality, strong white woman wife. Thank you very much, Princess Week, you racist ass who needs that to be said. My very strong wife, who I would never say is weak because she's a woman. Watch this and go, will you turn this shit off? It didn't take 10 minutes. We watched it through the end because I was mad at her, but it was horrible. And by the end, she was like, I'll never watch that again. Why? Because it sucked. Because the whole purpose of those girls was to be girls. They had no personality beyond, aren't we the victim? We need to take back our strength.
Remind me to never get you really pissed off. I don't want to know what you're going to make me watch.
I know. I'll tie you down. I'll be like, aha, Black Christmas 2019. We're doing a watch party, kids.
In 3D.
It was a film that, let's see, a lot of reviews touched on the idea that while some viewers like me might have found the movie heavy-handed and clumsy, it was very heavy-handed and clumsy. One thing me and her agree on. Wow. It was a film that they found emotionally validating. That is amazing. And those are the kind of perspectives that I love seeing. It's a difference of opinion, you jackass. Occasionally that happens. Just because I didn't enjoy it, it doesn't mean I want the film to fail or that what those audience members experienced wasn't real for them. Here's the reason why I wanted that movie to fail, because I don't want Hollywood to think that that's the kind of movie they should be making, that turns girls, instead of into strong women, into weak stereotypes. That's what that movie did. However, what was upsetting was seeing a review that stated that if you found the movie too preachy or too boring, you've probably never had to shout to be heard before or doubted you'd be believed. That I found to be really upsetting, because I know this is a statement that is probably addressing the men in the audience, but as someone who did find the movie too preachy, I do know exactly at what all of that feels like. Double E is a black bisexual movie. Well, at least now we know the color. But who cares? Your opinion could be that no matter what you are, you once again, you racist, sexist, and now homophobic person. I'm sorry, I'm going to put this out here, reading this, because it is pissing me off. I'm not trying to get the Germans to bomb Pearl Harbor just yet. But you're not special. I'm sorry to burst any bubbles, but as a black person, you're not special. As a white person, you're not special. As anybody of any race, you're not special. I don't care who you're f***ing. Sorry, you're not special. Doesn't matter. That's not what makes you special. Okay, so anyway, if we're going to be having feminist conversations about feminist films, that should mean being open to discussion about these things without trying to take other women down or disagreeing. And this is where you could tie it into what we were talking about the black pills. Just it's okay for other people to like things, and I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, I know there's people out there who like the things I don't like, and I'm like, wow, you should listen to me more. I'm 98% right, but I don't understand it sometimes. But what you gonna do? What were you gonna say, Vink?
I was just gonna say it's getting harder and harder to find things, and support things that I like. Like PBS was like, if you want to see more of like these 1967 Christmas specials, you gotta get some money. I'm like, I'm not giving you money at all.
Mm-hmm.
The money always goes to the left. It goes to their political party, and it never goes to the channel. It goes to what they want you to indoctrinate. Look at Sesame Street, and all they're like, we're adding races now. I'm like, oh, okay, you're puppets. You don't need races. You're all different colors. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I love to watch this stuff. Imagine if Turner Classic Movies like, well, we need you to give us money now if you want to watch it now.
Thank you to Matt, who's saying he's backing up the stream so he can listen to it at 1.5. I can only imagine that my voice becomes higher pitched and more whiny than it actually is. Like
I said, if you watch Supergirl, she actually moves at normal speed, and they talk at normal speed. If you have it up to like 2 point something.
Oh, yes.
It's hilarious. It's like, what the heck? They must like talk really slow like this.
A woman I know said, if your significant other likes Wonder Woman 84, then dump them.
That explains why I'm single, because I like
Gail is. I love Gail's opinion on things because, as I said, I'm a shill for superhero movies. In general, I try to like them. You know, I actively make an effort at liking a superhero movie. That being said, there are some I have a hard time doing that too, but Gail, not even a little bit. So she goes on to say, I remember when Sucker Punch came out and seeing people say that you couldn't be a feminist if you liked that movie. I was a baby feminist at the time. And I remember feeling very deflated watching, especially because that same year I watched feminist film favorite Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind and felt so turned off by it. While now I'm older and much better at explaining why Sucker Punch fills a lot of my empowerment fantasies, even though it's not a feminist movie, I still remember those kind of comments hurting me because it made me feel isolated. Well, here's the thing. What they're saying, and you should have glommed onto it there, is that you have to follow our opinion. And that's also, once again, we can attach it to the black pills. We need to encourage thoughtful discussion, rebuild the idea that people can disagree in good faith, and also know that everyone is trying to unlearn the sexism that we were raised around. Not me. Let's refocus the women in these discussions, not the sexist men and their pick-me allies. Holy crap. So there you go. That's this article that somebody shared out. Thoughts? He asks his panel is not paying attention or on.
Thoughts on this? Why do you hate us? Why are you making us suffer through this?
Somebody sent it to me. Gosh darn it! I figured.
So you gotta share with everybody else. They're the class. I'm suffering. You all suffer.
Well, ultimately, I figured it. Like I said, it was a little bit. It was a little bit relevant.
I can't listen. I can't take anybody serious if their first name's Princess. I'm sorry.
I know, right? Well, the fact that if she begins every gosh darn thing, she really does. As a person of color, her. Just say as a black woman. Just say it. That's what you want to say. Just say it. We don't care. I don't. It to me, it lessens your opinion if you actually have to justify it as your race or your preference of people to bang. Eric, it looks like you want to say something. Eric, your mic's off.
Since the talkies came in. No, it was on. I was responding to Venkman's last comment.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say anything. That's Comic Frog over there.
Okay. This is where I say both you and Pixel may be suffering identity crisis problems.
Yeah.
When there comes a time when back to the article. Are those really intended to be read?
I don't know.
Just to be signed off on by those that agree with it?
Well, that's the thing. Look, we do. Oh, go on ahead. I'm sorry.
And mocked by anybody that doesn't, and rightfully so. It's trash.
Look at the bottom. It says "Buy the Onion."
Well, it's by the Mary Sue. It might as well be.
Credible news and stories.
Do you? Is the Mary Sue any less or any more credible? It's
no. That's kind of the point.
Well, there is a problem when it comes to what people look up online and what we do it. It's that she's not saying anything brave because, of course, she's talking to people who agree with her. Two people go to Mary Sue: people who agree and YouTubers that disagree. And I'm not being brave by right now. If I agreed with it. With this audience, then yes, I think that would be far more brave. Venkman and I giving a good review to Mariko Tamaki's Detective Comics was a hell of a lot braver than, say, us talking about how bad the last Vita Ayala book is, which actually I believe that Venkman praised a Vita Ayala story recently.
I mean, since then, I've been getting Eat Hot Deaths, you know, every day.
Yeah, it's...
In the mail, somebody's actually using mail. They don't know how to text or use email. They're just using the post office. You know, they're sending me letters that says "Eat Hot Death." I mean, there's only one person that could do that.
But what is change? One of the things I found interesting was the changing of your opinion to fit your audience. I can't agree with that, and I'll never do that. That's my promise to you guys. You might not always agree with my opinion on something, but you can trust that it will always come from a sincere place. If I like something you don't like, I'm not going to change my opinion because most of my audience won't like it. Point in fact, Eric Breen even stepped up and backed Mags Visaggio's Jenny Hex. Doesn't mean the next thing for Mags Visaggio is good. Doesn't mean the thing before it was. But that particular one is good enough to say, guys, you need to check this out.
And that's the thing with Mariko Tamaki. Yeah, there have been some crappy issues he's done since her Fear State, though. But there's also been horrible books that Tinian's put out who's supposed to be praised the best. And so it is, every writer is, I mean, Vita did a book that I liked. She's done a lot of books that I hate,
Yeah.
But I don't hate the person, I just hate the editor.
It's okay to hate Vita Ayala, because trust me, she hates you.
She doesn't even know. She can't hate me if she doesn't know me.
That doesn't matter.
Let's see. Yeah, praise Tamaki, and I'm hearing for people she's going to be replaced by Mark Waid soon. Mark Waid hasn't done anything.
I'm going to start, I have the curse now, because I was praising Ram V and Catwoman. I'm going to start praising Teenie Howard now.
Doesn't work the other way.
No. It might. I'm a different person,
Maybe. Yeah, you're right. You should try. I don't know, man. I've seen it too many times. I would never do that kind of thing. It's ridiculous. And by the way, I really do now want to do a live viewing of Black Christmas 2019. I seriously think you will absolutely go for it.
I thought we were going to watch Karen.
Yeah, we have to do that too. It's the same movie.
When's it Christmas?
Yeah, it's the same movie.
This is where I point out, if you actually do that, if you watch that movie again, I don't ever, and I mean ever, hear you tell me I watch too much sports.
Yeah, you got some.
I thought yours is just one giant long game. They just take a break and come back.
No, right now it's with few exceptions, it's one big long disappointment. But right now I'm more aggravated that I wasn't a great pitcher, because a 37-year-old just signed a deal to make $43 million for the next 3 years, every year.
So he's signed $130 million.
3 years,
contract?
130.
Wow.
At 37. That's older than you, Venkman. Get on the stick. Start
by a year.
The ball up against your house.
Believe me, I'm at that point in my life where the age where I start looking at some of these actors. I'm like, oh, she looks older than me, and I look at it, wait, she's only 32. I'm like, I'm at that point where it's like, I can't tell ages anymore, even when they're close to my age.
To do with making $43 million a year, because somebody's got to pay for us in our old age, and that's got to be you. If you can just sign for half of that, me and he are set.
I mean, if you just vote blue, they'll take care of you, right? You're giving support to them, you're giving their money. They got to take care of you. That's the whole point of it.
43 large a year, they're not.
Well, yeah, they'll put you at 43 large in one house.
I was absolutely amazed by that.
All right.
Yeah, the Powerball. Guys, in that I won 43 million
because he just got it.
Yeah, that's just funny.
I will add, Black Christmas is a remake of a 1970s slasher film. It's one of the originals. I think it was actually before Halloween.
Wasn't there one called Black Xmas in 2012 that was actually good?
Yeah, it was it was also a remake of Black Christmas. The 2012 wasn't great, but it's a hell of a lot better in 2019.
Well, at least 2019 one told us it was going to be a Mary Sue movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting for White Christmas, the horror movie.
The actually, if you're gonna a good slasher film, that's like Black Christmas. It's not a Christmas movie, but there's one called Girl House, where in this case they're all cam girls.
Yes,
and the slasher goes one by one through all these houses, and actually the viewers are trying to save their lives because they're seeing this, and they're trying to find this house so they could actually send the proper authorities to where it's happening and save the girls who are being slaughtered. It's done very well.
You know where they got that
I was
from?
actually surprised at it. A lot of cheesecake, a lot of boobs. Sorry, gang, but
that was the plot of a Homicide: Life on the Street episode.
Oh yeah,
yeah. They weren't called cam girls then, but it was like early days of the internet. Cause this was like the late '90s, and there was a guy that was going to kill. He found where the girl broadcast from, and was going to kill her on the air, and they had to try to find her before he did it. I'm sure that's been done other times, but I think that's what
I know. But it was well put together. I like
all the Sims. No, not my content.
The 2012 was pretty good, and I like that one. All right, it was. I mean, it's not great. It's a slasher film. I don't watch a lot of slasher movies with the idea that this movie is going to be excellent. It's going to be a slasher movie. It's going to be silly. It's going to be stupid, but maybe it'll be fun. So at least that's happening. The Batman should have been released on Christmas instead of Spider-Man No Way Home. That I don't know. I think you're right about that. I really do. For some reason, and there's even a line in a Very Happy Song that goes, "There'll be scary ghost stories." So I think while family films do well on Christmas, dark stories do as well sometimes. Titanic came out on Christmas and did well. Platoon was a Christmas movie. I think you can have a darker film like that come out and just kick all sorts of ass. I think Batman would have been good. I thought that Harry Potter lost a little something. I'm not saying the movies were bad, but when they moved it from Christmas to summer, I felt that was out of place. Harry Potter feels more Christmas to me, just certain movies feel that way. I think you're right on that. I think Batman would have been a better movie for Christmas than Spider-Man. Let's see. Honestly, to be fair, any sport can have career-ending injuries. Some pitchers broke their arms. I had a chest injury right in the anyway. Let's see. But there you go. In all honesty, I didn't have much beyond that to talk about.
I'm shocked.
I stretch this a little further. But
I thought they would have put Batman Returns, in December, but I was looking up, it was in June. Almost the same month. I think the same month, or just a little bit different, a month later than the first movie, in '89. But the fact that the most of the movies during winter, it would have been better.
Drop the ball with.
So it froze in with the purse lips. Screenshot it, guys, quick. I think he might have dropped out. Somebody's got to screen cap that. I want that on the next.
No, we have to add like an operatic, like a.
No, screen cap. Then I want that as my Christmas card. Merry Christmas from Ingleton. Yes, that's awesome.
He looks like he just saw something a bit disturbing.
I don't know, but I'm screenshotting that. He's like, ooh, that's something.
Or maybe a spring popped on his chair.
Hey, now the Ingleton's gone. We can talk about comic books.
Okay, so let's see. What have you been reading lately, there, Venk?
Well, I've been going back to Batman's No Man's Land. I've been going through the trades, and that is just fun. No matter what writer it is, they're all good books. Sometimes the art changes a little bit because it went for 2 years, but man, I'm reading stuff from Rucka, Dixon, and Asante. Kelly Puckett. Anybody who was writing anything back for DC back in the day was writing in this. I just got up to the issue where Superman shows up in Gotham. That's the next one I'm gonna read, but I'm pretty much halfway through, I think.
Is this your first or second time reading it?
Well, technically my first. I just paused. I went to go back and read again. It's been a couple months, so I had to reread some things, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm further than this.
By the way, Black Cat, You brought E so much bad luck, you knocked him off his own stream.
This is great though. I love Hangouts when you should kill the stream, but this doesn't.
Yeah, go figure. I don't know what just happened. My internet just.
What happened? I just got the best Christmas card. I'm gonna send you.
Yeah, that was there were better images to freeze on.
Oh, good. I actually want to see what dumbass thing they did to me. Like that Beyonce picture where she was just looking at.
Actually, I was gonna put a candy cane in your mouth.
Well, now I know. Evil Black Cat came in and gave us bad luck.
He was afterwards.
Oh, really? Yeah, my internet just zonked out. Nothing was working. So there you go.
Something, if you want to fill a little time. Yeah, I was watching the video of one of your distinguished competitors today.
Okay.
And the subject of the video was how Marvel used to promote their books. And basically what we were talking about is like now they promote books that are specifically tailored for wheelchair, trans, Asian, blah, blah, blah. And it said, and the point was that in the old days, it was just, here's the book.
Mm-hmm.
Because the hobby was, it was primarily basically said, how dare an industry promote for white males in a country that is predominantly white and a fan base is predominantly male?
Well, I don't think that's even the case. Like, it's not the industry that's the problem there, except for now, of course, yes. But the attitude is the default is white male.
Yeah.
Neutral is white male to them. If you promote the book, you're promoting, as the racist Princess Week says, you're promoting the cis het white male. If you just put it out there that, hey, we got a Spider-Man book, oh, well, okay, yeah, you're just promoting white heterosexuality. Now, and that's the prevailing. And it's not just comics. It's across the entertainment board now. That's the whole social justice warrior thing. Is that the best race to be, according to the social justice warrior, is white. The best sex to be is male. Period. Because otherwise, you're a victim. According to the social justice, my fat, balding ass is so much superior to you, you can't get a license so you could show it while you're voting. You can't understand how to use a computer because what? Because I'm a YouTuber? Because I was fired from my last job and I had to create one for myself? Well, this bizarre notion. Now everything is white supremacy. And you know what? I'm not sure that that's aimed at white people. I don't think that message is aimed at white people in order to make them feel bad about being white. I actually think it's aimed at minorities in order to make them feel bad about not being white. Well, because even the black people who are successful is saying it. It's ridiculous.
I think people are just stupid in general, and they realize that, and that's how they get away with everything.
Well, as it says, one of the things that Mr. Meyer touched on was something we've talked about forever. Was, hey, in the late '80s, when the industry the fan base was mostly white and male, the leaders of the two most popular teams were black women. And nobody cared.
That's true. Storm and
so it's like, it's nice. I said we're not the only ones that noticed that.
That's true. That is true. Even Captain Marvel had the Avengers.
Right. Captain Marvel and Storm.
Yeah.
So it's like, how did we get from that to women have never been in comics, or all white men are what's the ACAB for all white men are bad? All bad.
It is kind of funny. As soon as Obama took office, you notice that it used to be just white and black characters or Chinese. They started like, you know what, we got to put a lot of Muslim characters into the book just to cater to Muslims, because they want to reach out to them, have them be possible viewers, the woke, the virtue signal, and then they kind of just abandoned them.
I don't know.
That happens with anything. Once gay people had the right to get married, it became trans. Let's forget about we're not really talking about you gay guys anymore. You're allowed to be married now. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna talk about
not only that.
Yeah, and it's not to say it's not to say that they were racist. That's why they didn't put them in the books. But back then, you had the Iraq War going on. They weren't gonna really put anything in there because politics, man.
Yeah.
Go
on ahead, Eric.
I was gonna say, once gay marriage came off the table as an issue to hold against Republicans, that's when we all graduated to Nazis. Because they had to up the ante because they didn't have that anymore.
I remember somebody got mad at me because I was against the way that the law came about. Now, mind you, if you listen to what I just said, I did not say I was against the law. I was saying I was against the way that,
perhaps.
Huh?
You want it to be a state issue, perhaps?
Yeah, I want states to vote on it. I want it to be done the proper way instead of the way it went through, because I want it to stick. I don't want anybody to be able to come up behind and say, well, since it wasn't done through the proper channels, it doesn't really count. But since I said that, oh no, you just don't want to, and that I hate that kind of thing.
I need to have a mail-in ballot for your state.
They try to tell you what you mean in order to argue their dumbass point. It's ridiculously stupid when they do that, but yeah. Let's see. Already like Simon Baez, they created him and did nothing with him for years. The gun was even more. The gun was stupid. He's a
New 52. Simon Baez came in, and then they disbanded him. They brought him back for a little bit with Jessica Cruz, and then he's gone again.
Yeah, but there's a reason for that. That was like a quandary for DC. Simon Baez checks a ton of boxes for them.
Yep.
But he was created by he who shall never be named again. And I think that's the same reason why Jessica Cruz is being downplayed now.
Because of the Ethan connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do wonder if they'll bring more Jessica Cruz or more what's the name back as soon as the Kamala Khan show comes back out, because they want to compete. Remember, we have our own character that's
he's Lot B in the current Green Lantern.
I would like to say thank you very much for Joe Biden to be sending in all of the money he would have given to charity or paid on his tax return to me as a super chat, and he is saying mail-in ballots are fine. Stop crying like babies. And I will say, you know what? Absentee ballots are fine when they're filled out properly. Mail-in ballots suck. Stop shitting your pants like a baby. Okay.
Hey,
and thank you very much for thank you very much for Joe Biden for stopping by. Appreciate it.
Now I want to watch old 90s Conan O'Brien when he had like the screen pops up and they had Bill Clinton on there. Some guy's lips are in the talking.
And let's go, Brandon.
Hey, Conan.
I think we can all go. Let's go, Brandon. All right. Anyone remember Dust from the new X-Men Muslim Teenage Heroine?
Dust, yep.
Great character, not named Kamala Khan.
Yeah, you know why she's not used.
I'm going to say something that a lot of people here don't know, and or won't say. I think Kamala Khan is a great character. I think she's had bad writers. In all honesty, I do believe I did. One of my favorite videos I did was that if I wrote, where I did a really good story for Kamala Khan. I think she could be a really good character. I think she's handled wrong. And it's because she really should be the friendly neighborhood. Hopefully, now granted, I haven't read after a while, so hopefully I am late on this. Hopefully that's what they did. They made her stick to her neighborhood. But being in a jet flying around the world champion was a bad move for them. Making her a Muslim, I read the word Muslim all of a sudden. Making her an Avenger, horrible idea. She should be in that neighborhood. As a matter of fact, if I were to write Marvel Comics right now, one thing I would do is I would separate the characters. I know they're in the same universe, but you got to get them away from each other for a while. Let Spider-Man only exist in Spider-Man verse. Let the Avengers be in Avengers verse. Captain America, on the other hand, on a solo, has to be by himself. Also, stop with the Captain Americas and stop with the Spider-Mans. Give them their own identity and let them grow. I would say the same thing about DC. You got to stop with the Batman Inc. Deathstroke Inc. is something now. Stop it. You want to separate them, make them their own characters. The worst thing, because we could say, oh, it's the politics, and we could say, oh, it's the social justice in it, or it's the diluting of the characters. What ultimately is happening is there is now a separation. They have, as the quote goes in Kingdom Come, they have put the super in front of the man. There's no emotional connection to the characters. It's almost like it's Golden Age again, but without being good, where we're supposed to just be excited that they're there. We're just supposed to be excited at the fact that somebody's lifting a car. That was awesome in the Golden Age, and this is where I'm tying it to, Eric. Don't let your head explode yet. But the thing is when Superman first came out, people weren't seeing like that. We've seen it. Now you have to do something with it. And one main thing you have to do is make us emotionally connected. And I think modern comics, for all of its flaws, the worst thing, they have killed that emotional connection. But there you go.
Especially when Superman came out this year.
So what you're saying is you're in favor of segregation.
Yes.
At limited times, certain times of the day.
Now, when you say that, all kidding aside, you talking about like Spider-Man and Captain America shouldn't cross over for a while?
For a little bit.
Because I'm with you to a point on that. I said I've been saying for years they should have had the 616, the MCU universe, and the young readers one where the Kamala Khans and the America Chavez's and Gogurt Hulk and all those. It's kind of like a minor league system. If they get popular enough, they graduate to the 616.
Well, the great thing was, well, I guess it's not really more. The bad thing they did, 1610, the Ultimate Universe, kind of was the kids' universe until Mark Millar said, "I hate superheroes," and just imploded it towards the end.
Marvel Adventures was the kids' universe, and it was pretty well done.
But 1610 was the retelling of Spider-Man. It was a relaunch of these characters. Spider-Man was aimed more and more towards younger, actually more teens now in the modern, in the early 2000s with the smartphones and all that stuff. They updated them completely. And that's one of the reasons I never really got into it, where my buddy did. But then I started reading it, and I couldn't believe it actually was. If you grew up in that era, you could more relate to him more than say I'm just going to a coffee shop after school. Because
Thank you for the super chat. Opinionated Junkie says, you want less crossovers? I like it. Yeah, like I said yesterday in yesterday's stream, I think there's 3 now. You got the Death of Doctor Strange, that Darkholm saga or something like that. What's that evil book? Darkholm, right?
Dark Ages?
Darkhold.
Darkhold, yeah. You got something going on with that, and there's another one. I forget what it is, but
the Daredevil one.
Yeah, well, but the thing is, there's no promotion. They're just putting them out there. They don't give a crap that anybody's excited about it. They think, oh, Star Wars Bounty Hunters thing. If they put out crossover, then the people who buy Spider-Man titles are going to get all the involved crossover issues. If you put out crossover with the Avengers, everybody's just going to get those issues. But it used to be a crossover was a thing. And they should come back to that. I think that's one more thing.
I look at crossovers and events as 2 different things. I mean, I'm fine with this month's Spider-Man, Captain America shows up, but the company-wide events are just they've lost all meaning at this point.
Zach saying less crossovers, less events, more one and done stories issues, and that was Zach. That was Tom Taylor for Linear Spider-Man back in 2018. And it was actually written well.
You're the only person I've ever heard it like that.
Because it was one and done stories. It was back to being simple Spider-Man. It wasn't him just getting in so much dramatic, stuff. The most dramatic thing they has is Aunt May got cancer, and then Spider-Man went and while she was getting her cancer surgery, some kid hacked the power grid because he was being bullied or something like that. So Spider-Man went and talked to him.
News 247 is saying, "Find me a bad female-led Star Wars film. I haven't seen one, and I want to congratulate Fresh News on missing the sequel trilogy."
Well, I'm just saying there was actually moral stories, and they weren't like progressive moral stories. That's why I liked it.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about Star Wars?
No.
So, like I said, something you just okay.
Well, no, he was in the middle of.
I was in the middle. You interrupted
me.
me.
Go on ahead. I interrupted you. I'm the asshole on this one. All right.
I let you better when you're pausing this.
Actually, that brings something up. Not comic book related. Not comic book related. This happened to me today, and you guys, you just called me out for being an ass. I was an ass. I apologize.
I didn't. Breen did.
No, I called myself out as being as being the ass. Okay, so this happened to me. I was going to Walmart to pick up something for dinner, and so I'm driving through the parking lot, going forward, look for a parking space, and the car in front of me stopped. There's a car pulling out. Okay, the car pulls out. The car in front of me goes past the parking spot, so I veer in. When I get out, the driver's yelling at me because I stole his parking spot.
He wanted to back in.
He wanted to back in. I didn't know that. You drove past the goddamn parking spot. So my thing was, parking spot? How can I possibly read your mind and think that's what's going to happen? You could have just veered right in the same way I did, and gotten the spot. You know, I don't have time to sit around and wait for you to back up into something you could have just pulled in. You're not saving any freaking time. You're not saving any different moves because you got to do both of them no matter what you do. And so this guy mumbles something. I guess he called me something and he drives off. Was he the ass or was I?
No, there's no way you could have known that he was backing in.
Yeah, you could be going.
There isn't. But the thing is that if you're gonna back into the place, you know, a parking spot, do it at a gas station where there's actually a curb. Then you can back in if you want to. You know, it's not a big deal. But if
no blinker was on, but even still, that would just tell me that they're about to turn left at the stop sign at the end of the row.
Where was the next nearest parking spot?
I don't know. I don't even.
I mean, so was it a crowded parking lot?
Yeah, it was very well. Yeah, it's very crowded.
You don't have that luxury of
backing in.
Backing in. I mean, it's I mean, I myself, I'm a shitty driver. I'd like to be able to back in so I could go straight out when it's
now
leaving with a bunch of other people. But no,
what he could have done is as his passenger if he had a passenger with him, passenger get out and have guide him in, so you know he's backing in. Still a dick move, but at least you know what he's doing.
Or if he's by himself, he could yell out to E and have E stand out there and back him in.
Yeah, there you go.
He's rocking the Beatles.
Yeah,
singing along.
I'm thinking, okay, you know what? Whatever. You know, I don't want this to be one of those Christmas things where we end up on YouTube, two fat guys floundering around like that.
You're so glad it wasn't a Karen.
Yeah, that's true. That's
this time of the year. I'm recording you.
Who needs that, man? Just pull into the goddamn parking spot. I don't know.
If I ever get
you should flash your brake lights. I wouldn't know that. I would just think you're stopping. If you pass up the spot, you gave up the spot. That's how.
And if you're not going to an event that lets out at once, where everybody's trying to leave at once, then then I said you don't need to back up into a spot.
Well, my thing is, if I ever get a Karen yells at me and starts recording me, I'm going to ask her, we got to get a copy so I can put it on my YouTube. Because that's going to go viral.
A backyard moment. You got little tweeting birds and then like a road rage incident. There'll
be a new channel. There'll be a new channel.
Miss So is saying this is why she shops late at night to avoid folks at the stores and as they empty out and only a few cars are in the parking lot. Me too, but this was for dinner, so it had to.
There would be a new channel called Burying the Hatchet.
And I think Zach's right. You know what, Zach? Yes, there was no way. Even like I said, even if he had the brake lights on, I would just think he was stopping for something else.
Jimmy's asking, why are we talking about guys backing in? And he says something else. And I was asked Jimmy, is that why you tuned in?
Yeah, you came in right at the tail end of this.
Come to your room with the lights
at the rear end of the conversation.
Ah. Well, he came in the back end of the conversation. That's a little.
Yeah, he likes it. Yeah.
You are told in driver's ed that you need not to flash your blinkers if you're trying to park like that. Guy missed the point. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so that's 2 incidents where I could have been the ass. I was with VENKMAN, not with the guy that was backing in. There you go.
I will just say dash cam. So you can
Yeah,
record
I know,
everything.
right?
They're like what,
Yeah.
$50, $100?
Yeah,
You know?
I just do not want to be on a freaking Christmas video of angry shoppers at the Walmart, because I know I'm in my t-shirt, my shorts, my flip flops. I look like every Walmart shopper ever. You know, all the stereotypical, fat, bald, flip flop Florida guy at Walmart. It would just I know you guys would have
10 more years with your knees, you'll be the guy in the scooter at the Walmart.
There you go. Yes, that's what I am hoping for.
And then you'll be the one that's bumping into people because they're in your way.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. President, for saying that I admit my flaws, unlike his opponent. That's because Donald Trump spouting off his flaws next to Joe Biden, it would just be like bragging. All righty. Fresh News says, I had to go shopping at 3 a.m. once, was very annoyed at the poor service. I've gone to Walmart back when they were 24 hours at that point in time, and I loved it. But should I move to Texas or Florida, says the Real Dragon. Depends on how you tend to vote.
Texas, there's certain parts they're still conservative. You can move to, but
Florida's flat. Yeah, Florida's very conservative. Except for certain points.
Yeah, but those elections are awfully close. The state elections are.
Yeah. I hear some people saying that they want DeSantis to run for president. I'm like, no, I want him on guard. I want him as the Florida.
Well, the only thing
watching out for Florida.
One reason why I'd like to see him announce is because I'm afraid that when he goes for re-election, the amount of shenanigans that might happen to keep him from winning.
Mm-hmm.
Because trust me, the entire machine will mobilize in Florida to get him out. And
they're to have national help,
right? And if he can't win a state election, he's dead nationally. I wish you get out of there before it can happen to him. But that's the only reason why I would be in favor of him not running for.
Almighty Jack says this: the guy probably sized up Ian, was immediately blinded by the dome, and knew he wouldn't win.
Mm-hmm.
He was handicapped. He had a glare, and then he couldn't see you.
Well, I do wear my hat out. So, Spiffy saying, move to Texas. We have cheaper prices, and for the most part, we aren't a-holes. Also, portion sizes are bigger. I can at least vouch for the middle part. DeSantis running for president. You could bet money if Trump doesn't run.
I mean,
probably so. But if he's not going to be governor, I would not mind him being in the White House. That's for damn sure.
I mean, Texas is huge, and as far as driving through it, it's a huge state. I love it. Their energy efficient stuff, or they're not dependent on anything else. But my thing is the border, so I would just stay in. I'd feel safer in Florida with the Gators.
We kind of have the same thing. They just arrive on boats.
You call those boats?
It's true. Yeah. Well, yeah. Whatever they can find to float. One kid famously came in a raft. So
I remember, and then Hillary sent him back.
Yeah, she was a bastard.
Yeah, I know. It's I know your mom died, but sucks to be you. You're going back.
Yeah, Zach was saying he would vote for Tulsi. I wouldn't be stunned if she doesn't end up on the Republican ticket somewhere.
Well, yeah, look at how she was treated by Hillary and the whole camp. Her own, yeah.
She's definitely become a centrist. I mean, I don't know if she's changed her opinions on gun control any. And she said some very incendiary things about Trump when she was still in the party. When she basically the plane crash in where was it? Saudi Arabia or the one that was somewhere over there. She blamed Trump for that. And when it was shot down by their own people or something. And she so that was she's got some work to do, but I think she's been definitely, if she hasn't been red pilled, she's been marooned, because she's come across very common sense the last 6 months or so.
Alrighty. Just for shits and giggles, Are y'all still there? It went
Yeah.
really quiet. Okay. Let's see if I
You
can
don't
find...
move, he can't see us.
Basically, that's how it works. Yes. There's two. I'm looking for something a little bit more specific, please. There we go. Alrighty, I used to do this every Monday, so what the hell? Let's do this here, and we'll look at what everybody was buying. This week, because I'll tell you what, DC is shit in the bed. They really are. As far as sales are concerned, what was it?
The only thing that's really strong for them is Batman. That's why there's so many Batman titles. Marvel's pushing out as far as pretty much all X-Men and their Avengers stuff. That's the bigger sales number for them.
So let's see. I used to look at the top 10 Bleeding Cool bestsellers of the week, and what we got here, Rodman's Comics. Here, let me share this out. I think.
You go with super chat.
Hey, thank you. Opinionated. Tulsi is a plant. Don't be fooled. It's like cinema. You always kind of fear that because you hope they're sincere about things, but
they're not
really...
that good actors.
Yeah,
well,
she was just absolutely torched by her own party.
The other thing, there are legit people who are getting red pilled.
Yeah,
so
that is true.
So you ever want to be a dick to them because they might be getting red pilled and they see how you're being a jerk to them, then they go back to being where they were.
So let's see. Graham Cracker Comics says some of our titles arrived late this week, so the date is off, but Hulk smashed the competition. Great to see House of Slaughter #2 is in our top 10. Sailfish says for Thanksgiving week, we're thankful all of our highest subscribed titles, save for Batman, was coming out. The margins were really tight, so the #1 spot is not far removed from the #10. Hulk and Black Panther's debut issues were very high on the chart this week, and as could be predicted, X-Men, Detective Comics, and Spawn Fever is still going strong.
Yep.
And then finally, Hawkeye sold out and did very well. Black Panther also sold out. Hulk was not as hot as we had hoped. DC Vampires took the top spot for them. Marvel taking most of the rest. And if you look up, #10 was Wolverine, #18. X-Men, #5 was 9. 8, Hawkeye, Kate Bishop. 7, The Death of Doctor Strange. #3, DC Vampires. #2 was #6. Detective Comics, #1045. 45, guys. Just 45. Black Panther #1, Thor 19, Amazing Spider-Man 79, and Hulk #1 top the charts on the top 10 there.
Well, yeah, Ryan Ottley, everybody wanted to see some brand new thing. Johnny Cates has been hot. Amazing Spider-Man, I can see that's going up in sales because, well, it's Ben Reilly. You know, there are a lot of fans of Ben Reilly, you know, and they want to see what's going on with that. But
okay, and let's see. This is what the speculators are going after these days. So the Hot 10 comics, according to CBSI, they've got a couple of honorable mentions. Jonah Hex, #50, a Darwin Cook 1 in 10 variant sold for $50. If you've been reading this column for any amount of time, you'll have seen some of these random DC 110s from a decade ago pop up from time to time. They're not easy to find and usually are great covers. This one is no different. I'd say Jonah Hex is good anytime, but this should always be something. Looney Tunes and Merry Medleys. Bugs and Friends will always hold a place in my heart, more so than Mickey Mouse, to be honest. A 5.5 copy of this somewhat hard to find classic sold for $13,200. Wow. I'm actually not mad at that. I think that's pretty cool that an old Looney Tunes comic sold for that. Let's see. #10, Street Fighter versus Dark Stalkers 0, the Joe Vrenz variant. Oh my, I've never seen this one before. $65 raw, 9.8 sold for $120, which was probably a good deal. I still love covers that look like they're golden age-ish or homages to old posters. #9 was Hawkeye. #11, while not Lucky's first appearance, it is a great cover of him. Seeing him on the Hawkeye show was both amazing and heartbreaking at the same time. Expect to pay $40 or higher for a raw copy of Hawkeye #11. #8, was War of the Realms, New Agents of Atlas, #1, Patrick Zircher, 1 in 50. $1,700. A 9.8 sold for $1,700. I will say this: if this book is worth almost $2,000, the cover is way undervalued at less than $175. I do like this title. So why is New Agents of Atlas valued at all? $1,700. Eric, what Silver Age comic would you buy for $1,700 instead of this cover A for a book that was released 2 years ago?
A Silver Surfer #4 in pretty decent shape. It would be pretty trashed at this point, but you could probably get a 2.0 Avengers 4 for $1,700.
The first Silver Age Captain America. This book has been out 2 years.
It's kind of become its own little stock market for, like you said, the hot potato crowd. Yeah. That whoever spent $1,700 on that, is hoping to sell it for at least $1,701.
Unless they're incredible. I don't know. I can't wrap my head around.
There's if somebody could come on to this stream sometime and defend or defend their position as someone who would spend that kind of money on a variant because of love of the variant cover, then please come on and explain that to me, because I'm not criticizing that, because as a hobbyist, I do not cast aspersions on anybody else's
it's your geekdom.
Right. But there are certain things in all hobbies that I can't get my head around, even though I've collected everything from baseball cards to bottle caps.
Right. Yeah, I'm a cheap son of the gun. $20 is expensive for me if just for a book.
Daredevil #11 from the 2000 run. Between #9, First Maya, #10, first cover, 11, First Echo. It is clear that Maya Lopez is hot. This issue is
Maya
first Echo, and it appears that some are figuring out that this is itself a key. Me personally, because of how magnificent the cover is, my choice of the 3 is 10, but I think all 3 will hold their value or continue upwards. 9.8s are now 250-ish. It's a replay of the Carnage. The first appearance of Carnage is valuable, but it's a 3-part story. Mm-hmm. So all 3 parts are valuable in their own right. So I can see this. Echo, however, created a following before the TV show came up. So while it's getting a boost from the TV show, the Hawkeye show, I don't criticize this one as much as the War of the Realms pick. And let's see, #6, Kanan, the Last Padawan, #6, or Kanan. Throwing out the debate of when Sabine's first appearance actually is, my question is, why hasn't she got her own series or been on a cover other than the Star Wars Insider magazine? Clearly a popular character. You'd have thought Disney Marvel would have started milking that cow at this point. A 9.8 sold for $700. I'm not versed in Star Wars enough to speak to this, but it looks like another new book. For $700 right now, I could get VENKMAN that copy of the first appearance of Black Widow. Now, granted, It won't be a 9.8, but it'll be a first appearance of Black Widow, which I would probably say is more important than a Sabine first appearance. So, #5, Hawkeye, #2. Here we go again with the first team ups. Clint and Kate here, $50 raw. I do like all the purple. 3rd print, though, it was pretty evident that this whole series would see a bump in price.
And if you want to see that story read by some puppets, go check out their channel. They did the first 2 issues.
Okay, Shill. Let's see. Cowboy Bebop, #1. A 9.8 sold for $650 and a 9.6 sold for $450. New mint raw copies will run you around $350. Weird to see it increase in price when reviews for the show has been average at best. But that's how the modern day speculator is. There's a TV show. We got to get it. However, Cowboy Bebop is loved for what is on the page and what is on the anime, not for what's on the TV show. So can you really fault people for wanting the first appearance of the good part of Cowboy Bebop? I'm going to defend this one. If you guys don't, I understand.
I don't know. I fell asleep through both the anime and the Netflix show, so they're both the same to me.
Hit Monkey #1 is at #3. The second printing is late as July this year. You could have had a 9.8 for $250. This week, multiple copies have sold for $700 to $800, and a 9.6 will now run you $370.
Sadly, the show's better.
Wow! Right now, there's a first appearance of Inhumans for $300 at my comic shop. And #2 is Wonder Woman Black and Gold #6, the David Nakayama 125 variant. It is a gorgeous cover. I do agree. When David Nakayama nails it, he really nails it. This one falls into that category for sure. Not a surprise this one is doing well. What may be a bigger surprise is that people are spending money on DC stuff. Yeah, the speculators aren't nice to DC compared to Marvel. And #1, Son of Kal-El, third print, John Timms 1 in 50 variant, The Kiss. Is anyone surprised controversy sells, even if that controversy is unintended? This is not a great cover. It looks like they don't even have a face. Reminds me of Neo in the interrogation room with the in the Matrix, and I agree. This is basically the panel, and I thought the same thing about the art. Horrible, horrible, horrible.
Green,
I think people are going to get burned on that one, in all honesty. Oops, I forgot to...
Breen, are you going to pull that one under your couch?
I think people are going to get burned on the on the #1 here, in all honesty. The gay Superboy thing, I don't think that's going to last.
See, Venkman, you should have said, I'm not going to pull that out of my backside.
Well, I don't want to see it if it's coming out of there.
What do you think? Do you think that the whole gay Superboy thing is going to last at $300?
I already forgot about Tim already.
They're gonna be burned by how flaming Superboy now is.
I just don't see that. It's a controversy sell. It's kind of like the Batawang. When the Batawang came out, those books were going for 150, 200. Now I see it running 75 tops.
Okay, the difference, though, I think, if there is one, is that was a one-off that didn't even make it into the subsequent, the second printing.
Mm-hmm.
DC is this is the most proud they've been of anything they've done in years.
Well, you're right. He's always
this isn't going away. He's gay.
He's always going to be gay, and this is the big announcement. So I guess you're right about that. But $150 worth? I don't know. This is Almighty Jack's territory, by the way. He's saying expect Hawkeye, Bebop, and Hit Monkey to all drop a couple of months from now after the hype from the shows die. I absolutely agree with him on this one, especially the Hit Monkey, in all honesty, because I think that has not got the wide audience that say Hawkeye does, and Hawkeye will continue to go on for a lot longer than Hit Monkey will be, and it's got the Marvel MCU behind it, and so anyway.
Well, Hit Monkey, I tried reading the first issue. It is completely different from what they did with the anime. They actually made that more comedy. The actual guy, the Hitman, is he's more like Archer. The way he talks and he interacts with the monkey. Now you watch him and you try to read him in the comic book, he's just boring. He's all serious. He doesn't joke around. So it's weird. So it's like
no, I don't know. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I tried reading into it. I couldn't get into it. Maybe other people like that version, but I've always looked at Hit Monkey being a Deadpool side character. He just pops up in Deadpool. That's it. Because honestly, it's a monkey. It's a baboon with guns and a ghost attached to him.
Oh, and just for those of you who do like speculation, one thing that's going around, I noticed in the forum, go out there and get those first appearance of Tigress, because Greer made an appearance in Hawkeye episode 1. So, oh my gosh,
she did.
Yeah, I mean, it's Tigra. I always thought she was undervalued anyway, but she's not very much used anymore, and she's usually seen as being over sexualized, so people don't appreciate her.
Yeah, where was she in?
Well, I think as Tigra, it was one of the Werewolf by Night giant sizes.
Yeah, it was a giant size. #3.
Yeah, it was the cat #1.
But where was Greer in the show, though?
I don't know.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Echo it was in the show.
She was the final credit thing. Yeah.
No, I don't think. I don't think any of the things we were just talking about will become these. But I'm curious that we talk about what would we do with $1,700.
Mm-hmm.
We're old.
Yep.
Now the fan base that exists today is fundamentally different from the fan base that existed when we were not old. I'm curious what will become the grails for this generation. Like what comics? Because I think they're just going to look at the old stuff and say that's out of reach, or it's problematic, or it's this or that, and that, and who knows what'll happen to those. But the young generation, what is their Avengers for? I'm curious.
Yeah, I don't know. Walking Dead #1.
Would Ultimate Fallout #4 possibly?
Yeah. First appearance of Miles would be in that. With 1,700, I would catch up on all the Vertigo series I missed. So, give me just a moment, gang.
At least you could have done was silence the bird while he was frozen.
He could have just muted himself, and then why he kills the bird.
That's a lovely tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, am I the only one that when Evil turns his mic on, just waiting to hear a crash?
Oy vey.
So he brings it closer to the mic. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
If you just want to go put him down, we'll take over the stream.
Hey. I'm right here. What's going on with you?
Jack. Yeah, that the Deadpool and Cable and Venom, even those are almost to a little over 30 years old now. I was just thinking more in terms of like the last 10 to 12 years. Well, like the all new, all different era of comics. What are the grails?
First appearance of Kamala Khan, the first appearance of I don't think there are too many. It's variants that these kids are going after now.
So maybe it will be
Gosh,
those.
I'm right here. What do you want? We're not in danger. What's up? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna take him out of the room and lock him out. I'll be right back. Well, not lock him out, but
Yeah, what would be the point? He can pick the lock.
He probably has a key.
Or
Gail's
that.
like, he has a little bird flap door he flies through. Oh. Does he need to eat? Oh no, I've already been eating this whole entire time. I'm good. Thank you though, myself. Young gen will likely treat comics the way they treat smartphones. With the old, in with the new.
Well, they're definitely not made to stand the test of time from a story perspective.
Yeah.
So that there could be some truth to that.
I have that problem with some of the Silver Age books. I mean, you guys grew up with those, so it was more. You guys were used to that. Remember, everything's. But I try to go back and read these things, and some of them I like, and some of them are like I just can't get into them.
But whether you can get into them or not, those had story to them. A lot of these newer books, they're so decompressed, or they're part of one of the 7 events going on at once, and there is no there.
Currently, yes, but I'm talking about when I got into like 2003 and 2002.
That's a totally different hobby. Then I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I said the all new, all different era. There's just it's like they're like cotton candy comics.
Yeah,
almost exclusively. And I said other than a couple of first issues, because when I asked E, everything you mentioned were first appearances. Where's the Galactus trilogy going to be in modern comics? And I would say there isn't going to be, because the readers don't care enough.
Well, some of my generation maybe going back and read some of the Silver Age. I just personally never went back, but I think there's people who around, I don't want to dox Pixel, but or some of the younger generations, but those who are turning 18, 17, they're not going to go back and read anything that in the early 2000s because they're being raised with this stuff now.
Right,
So
but we're talking about two different things. I'm just wondering where where the Grails are going to be that aren't first issue. Like, is there going to be a Galactus trilogy in any modern comic story? I haven't seen one yet, and I'm not saying. Yeah,
Well, no, because he's dead.
There's the Hawkman series. Visually, yes. Much easier. You won't mind this one though.
As judging Christmas card.
that is pretty much like I said, the stoic in this time.
He's just, that's how he feels right now in his life. He's just like, see you later, E. He's already gone. I guarantee it. Oh no, but like I said, like I agree with you. It's gotten a whole lot worse. Now before there was like, you get a 50-50 shot getting a book that you like. Now it's just like you have a 10% chance of buying a book that's actually might be good if you're even that lucky. I still find few that I like. Are there some SJW progressive stuff thrown into some of the books? Yeah, I cringe at it, but I try to shovel through because majority of the rest of the book actually has a good story.
Well, there's also so many rules that writers have to follow that they didn't have to 50 years ago, so they could just tell adventure stories. A lot of the things that made those stories work aren't allowed to be done today. And the case in point is you can't have the damsel in distress. That was a major plot point for a ton of stories. And with that, without being able to do that, and having to make sure that you get basically every box that needs to be checked into a story. By the time you do that, sometimes you realize you forgot the story, and then you realize, well, the audience we're going after is going to be satisfied with the fact that the boxes were checked.
The last time I saw anything with the damsel distress was those reprintings of the Conan, books from the 1920s. That they're going to be independent of.
I'm not saying that every issue has to have a girl tied to.
Well, no. I'm just saying. I'm trying to think when I personally last saw anything like that.
You're not that far off.
Yeah,
it was definitely a gold, silver, and bronze age
trope.
As far as covers go, but there was. I mean, I said people criticize the fridging story. But that basically was what set Kyle Rayner on the path to being the hero that he became. And it is a fictional character, so maybe don't get more upset over that than someone that would happen to in real life, you weirdo comic book fans.
It just sucks because, like, right now, like, I finally got Batman in, like, in the Detective Comics where he's by himself. Maybe gets help from Oracle, but it's the setting, they're being forced to this fear state crap, and it's, you could do so much more, but they're tied to a continuity. I'm like, Detective should not be crossing over with Batman. Batman's the main book. Detective should be a totally different story, like you're doing Batman the Imposter.
Disagree.
Standalone stories.
On that.
Yeah. Oh no! I would prefer to have Detective being the good and let Batman be all the crap they have now.
Yes, architectural. We often talk about books that we like. We really do. Sorry about that, gang. My internet zonked again.
No, we actually gained viewers when you went off. You left, so I'm.
That does happen, doesn't it?
Now, when you're like you said, when one book is not holding up its end, I can see that. But if you go back to I'll cite the first half of the '80s. Those two books, literally, one was continued in the other, then back and forth. Phenomenal. I would argue it's the best 5-year stretch in Batman.
I guarantee the reason the Batman Beyond got canceled because they actually had a legit Bruce Wayne in there, still acting as Batman, even though he's not in the cowl. He was being more Batman than you saw in the main books. He wasn't. It's that's the thing. Like about Batman Beyond, it's just him and it's just Terry and it's Bruce. They're the main characters. They occasionally might get a side character in there, but it's mainly just them going against the villains. You don't have this Batman Beyond family. Jurgens did add a little bit though. He added Batwoman Beyond. Shocker, she was straight. That's probably another reason why they canceled the book.
Yeah.
So, but I just want good books. I mean, like I said, if I had to suffer with just having one Batman book, if it's a detective doing detective things and not being part of whatever they're forcing me in, that's the book I'm gonna buy. I was buying Flash because Flash wasn't a part of the future state. Same with Catwoman. Catwoman, just toward the very end, they kind of threw her in that, you know, the whole thing with the magistrate. But I was avoiding everything else, the main event. So, like, for those of us who just want to read a book that's not being forced on us with other crap, look at King in Black. Daredevil was Zdarsky, you know, wrote his story. He was able to put his story in there naturally where it made more sense, even though his book was tossed in for 2 issues into the King in Black story. It didn't ruin his story. He wasn't like, you know, it didn't. So I like it when they actually, you can actually just escape, you know, because I said there's so many horrible events.
Exactly what I was saying at the beginning. You want to save comics for a little bit. You got to get us emotionally tied. Therefore, you got to lower the stakes, not raise them. We've been saying this for quite a while, Eric. There's too many events, too many big badass. Oh my gosh, the world's coming to an end. No, let's lower the stakes. Let's make it more personal. Let's connect emotionally to these characters. And that'll create something. That's why I like Batman Imposter, because it's doing that with the Batman.
Yeah.
It's stripping away all pretense without having the Fox family steal their money.
Yep.
And it's creating an original Batman story.
But I think if I can get my quick shill in, because Venkman got his in earlier.
You're running ahead.
If you know the retrospectives we do. Like I said, you know, the 3-part Iron Man story. The stakes were Tony's life and Bruce's life, but there was so much drama packed into those 3 issues. Mm-hmm. It felt like a end of the world scenario because it could have been the end of theirs, and that's completely lost on comics. But if you go back and I'm not saying go back and watch all our things, because I'll be honest, they're long. Sometimes I can't get through them. Sorry, Wes. But we're riveting. I swear. But the stories that we cover, there very few of them have been, galaxy threats. I think we increased Skrull War and Avengers Defenders War, but most of them have been the stakes are someone's life or a town or something. It's so much smaller. And it can be done so well. It used to be done so well, and the modern industry, the modern comic industry, just completely abandoned that, and that is a shame.
Almighty Jack, this is why I like the old slapstick villain more. Those stories were so much more fun than the big bad universal evil guy gets punched by the power of friendship. Let's see, I've been reading Batman Adventure Continues and the Batman Scooby-Doo series and My Little Pony Generations, which reminds me, I've got this awesome Batman Adventure book that's going to be in the auctions this week. I was showing off yesterday, all the books that are going to be in the auction, or some of them anyway, like this awesome Batgirl hardcover celebrating 50 years, and this Batman Adventures Volume 4 that has the holiday special and so forth and so on.
Of all the times you could pause, you could have paused on those books.
Right. I know, right? Instead of
Glenzer. Jerry Glenzer's line.
No, maybe double side. What? No, where? What? The Black cast of guests or only a photo to scare England teens bird? Yes, both.
That's good.
Awesome.
And liftable.
Yeah.
And that's important.
It is if you want to read it. I've been reading.
It's good reading.
I've been reading that Jack Kirby book you got for me. That is such a great.
He's gonna lift them. I got one here too.
No. 71 years old, and I'm 99% sure there's a Simon and Kirby story in here.
Judging by what I just read, yes. Hold on just a second. Yeah.
Oh, I know he did plenty of romance. They did plenty of romance stories, but I can't find any confirmation. Not even on my comic shop, but one of the stories says a Simon and Kirby production. So I'm going to assume it's them.
This is what I've been reading. And this is awesome, by the way. I like a book with pictures. Obviously, I'm a comic book lover, but this has got Jack Kirby pictures right here. And it's got it's got great explanations, great stories, great how they came up with, why they came up with. And I've been loving it. And damn it, if I know we did this big old Jack Kirby thing, but I kind of want to do another one because the other one was done by my brother, and I'm reading this and going, wow, it's just an awesome story. Really
what issue? What is that title? I'll look up the book.
Oh no! Like I said, I don't know where you're going to look it up that would have more information than my comic shop.
Well, I have sites I can look on.
Okay, it's Young Love, Volume 2, Number 4, from 1950.
All right. I know Young Heroes in Love. Yeah, not that though.
The problem is that there was a time when comic book artists and writers were not signing.
Yeah, so there's a lot of even those PS art books, they'll have writer, artist, and then a big row of unknowns.
Yep.
That was Volume 2, you said?
Mm-hmm. Number 4.
Planet Fitness. We look forward to your membership, Eric Green.
Okay, first off, get it right.
Thank you very much for the super chat, Planet Fitness.
It's Breen, and ain't no Planet Fitness going to see my carcass anytime soon.
Well, it depends. What's your snack bar look like, Planet Fitness?
Yeah. Hey, now you're talking.
Do you stock Pringles and beer, and do you have the Cincinnati?
Can I smoke between sets?
Yeah.
Did you say
your
sets?
treadmills wheelchair accessible?
There you go.
Turn that mic back off.
For me on DC Pull, Robin and Batman, Catwoman, Robin, Wonder Girl, Justice League Incarnate soon, says Undead Quinn. Yeah, I believe that book is a Kirby and Simon book.
It is. They do say a Simon and Kirby production, but I'm trying to find out if they did the particular story that I'm thinking of. Because nobody's credited in the book.
Here's something that this book taught me. That Simon and Kirby drew and wrote a lot of early Shazam, a lot of early of actual Captain Marvel books.
I've heard that.
So that was something I did not know. So now I really want those books. Fortunately, I'm going to be missing the December auctions along with a car repair bill. I had a leak in. That is not a good thing, Jim. And I don't think you're down. I don't think you're down here in the tropics with the rest of us smart people, or y'all say crazy, but yeah.
I mean, Floridians, you guys are like an alien species.
In some ways, we are. Last night, I did get cold. I actually had to turn on the heat. It was in the 50s, so I had to pop.
Same here. It got down to 14.
I had to
I had the AC on.
I had to make it. I had to make it crispy, so we turned it all the way up to 74. Yeah, it was just a little bit over room temperature, so we could warm up.
It's 73 here. It's 83 here now.
Yeah, where are you? Oh yeah, never mind. You're in Egypt,
where they worship cats. Yes.
Yes. Well, the only problem with that is being in Egypt. Well, I hope everything turns out okay, Jim.
The Evil Black Cats are Orange Cassidy. He's from wherever.
Parts unknown.
Remember that when they said, from wherever, whatever.
Alrighty. Hushing it's 26 degrees. I'm used. I couldn't be in. Oh, by the way, I want to show something else off. You guys know I am. I'm on a couple of those forums. And one of them, somebody posted something, and this is why I say don't go off on the whole. Hey, they're making a movie out of it. We better spend top dollar on the book. Eternals #1 CGC 98 was 3,200 and now below 1,300 last couple of sales. Who said silver, copper? The joke isn't that silver and copper and bronze doesn't drop like modern. The joke is that you base your speculation on basically what ends up being an orgasm. That's why I say it's like, the Eternals is coming. Oh, we got to get it. It's here. Oh, now, it's after the movie comes out, it's done. There's no more excitement surrounding it. It's always what's coming up next. So you will be that person that's stuck with the $1,300 book that you paid $33,000 for.
And consider yourself lucky that you only lost 2,000, because if that hadn't been 45 years old, it would have been worse.
Probably so. But I don't know. That's one thing I said. Just don't going off the movies. It once the movie gets there, it's always the next one. So nobody's giving a crap about the big book about the movie that came out last month. Nobody's giving a crap about the big book that came out about the movie before that. And I said this before, I'll say it again. If you were spending that much money on the freaking Eternals, you're a dumbass anyway, because they're not even comic book fans care about the Eternals. Nobody cares about the Eternals ever.
There you go.
Okay, you know what? To stop the person. Okay, look, I know one or two people actually like the Eternals before
Green,
it was announced. But
my comic shop does have it on there. It says issue number 10. That's what you have there.
Yeah, it does, and it's got names on there, but it doesn't specifically credit Simon and Kirby with.
It does. Produced by the studio of Captain America creators Joe Simon and Jack Kirby.
I know. That's what the book said. I told you that guy.
And
I'm just saying that's how you're going to get anything anywhere else. But I'm pretty sure it probably is them. If it's by their studio, they probably had a hand in it.
But there's 4 stories in there, and one of them specifically looks like Kirby's style at the time. I just wanted to know for sure.
Does the woman look like the Thing? The square face?
you mean like what didn't happen in the Eternals movie? I don't know what happened during that scene. It looked like they were satisfied. I don't know. Marvel Masterworks Ghost Rider Volume 1 sells for $250 when the omnibus drops. So will those ridiculous prices.
You know who's a great speculator?
Who?
Whoever sold the copy to that moron for $3,300.
I know, right? Yeah.
That guy's going.
Well, once again, I told you I've had conversations with a lot of these people who are going off on the movie thing. They are selling back and forth to each other to falsely increase the value. Once you hear about it, more than likely it's too late for you. So don't jump on the bandwagon. That would be my advice. Wait until after the movie if you really like the character, or if you like the movie and now you're interested in the character, and then the price goes down a bit, pick it up then.
Oh, Money Jack says, I'm selling off my early Moon Knight issues. I paid $1 bin prices for most of them, and they're now books are $30 and rising. I turned to $1 bin afterwards, so he's selling them while they're hot.
He's being slightly sarcastic there, but he's not. I mean,
yeah,
it won't go back to the $1 bin, but they're not going to stay there either.
No, they're going to give you $30. They're even near that. They'll probably the most be $4.
We're talking about the Mensch series, because that is almost 40 years old now and phenomenal.
Yeah. The thing is Moon Knight. I believed that Moon Knight was undervalued. Not some books like the 90s run and I think the 70s and the 80s run
80s.
was undervalued. But I think it's more because people think the character was cool, the story was cool, so I could see the first appearance definitely being worth something. Bumping it up for the TV show, I think that's obviously the increase there because of speculators is false. But I still think the TV show, without this crazed speculation, would have still generated excitement for an already cool character.
Oh, it was pretty high. That issue of Werewolf by Night, 32, that was worth pretty good money long before Moon Knight was a gleam in a producer's eye.
Yeah. Well, we last year we had a whole bunch of people that couldn't go to work, but they were getting free money. So last year's speculation craze isn't going to be what next year's is going to be. Well, I don't know. Maybe morons are going to get scared because the Transformer variant is coming out, and I think it's bad when the person who discovered the Transformer variant of the beer bug says, "Oh, we have no need to panic," but all the like Biden and oh, we got to panic. No, you're dumbass. Because
CDC's already said, get those boosters.
I know, right? But the thing is maybe they will be shut in with a whole bunch of money coming to them again. But the thing is, I don't
Ain't
think
getting the
it's
money
gonna
this
happen.
time.
I don't think it's going to happen. So I think that the speculation is going to drop a little bit because, yeah, if you're getting $600 a week or however much it was, that's a lot of free money to make a comic book go up in value really quickly.
I think a lot of that money's going to go into Moderna stock next year. So
Yeah.
it's...
Rhaegar, yes, Doug Ernst was a villain in the Eat My Ass. What was his name?
Max Bemis.
Max Bemis. He actually told people to eat his ass, and he was mad at Doug, so he made him a villain in the book. Actually called somebody Ernst because those Moon Knight issues from Volume 1 are hella undervalued, but just wait for the show to be underwhelming and the book to go back to being undervalued. But I don't think they deserve to be. I think let's just even it out a bit. I mean, obviously, I want them to be cheap if I want to get them, that kind of thing. But
they should be about $3 a book.
I watched a video about the CGC and other people involved, and it's all a scam. Knight, if you want to come on and explain that a little further, that actually sounds, or if you could point towards that video, that would be awesome. I would love to see it. Not now, not in not in the chat for the video that I'm on right now that would lead people away, but it's
There is CGC and then there's a new one that came out. I think some of the new one.
There was one called PGX that was out there for a little bit.
It's CGB or something or CB.
Mm-hmm.
And it was bought up by some company called Black something. That was like this year or last year, and people were saying that that one was a scam, the new one, but I don't know.
Yeah, I heard about that, Rhaegar. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying he'd have to talk to you about that because I don't if that's what he's going on. Because I remember reading an article or something like that. And people were talking about it's a bad move. They have this company, they sold out and have this other company take over for them.
By the way, I never said architectural. I've been around for 50 years. I've been reading comics since I was 4 years old. I've been collecting them actively just a few years after that.
Green, you're around the first comic.
I never said speculation started with the stimulus checks. What you did right there, I don't recognize your name too much, so I think you're new around here. But what you did right there was create something to argue. I never said that speculation started with stimulus checks. You want to go back over what I said and argue what I said? I'm all for it. I don't shy away from a difference of opinion, but don't make up stuff. That's all I ask. Do not make up stuff. Basically, they skipped I think so too. I'll send a video link later. Cool. CGC is definitely a scam.
He just did a statement. That's all he did. I don't think he was attacking you at all. Well,
speculation didn't start. Well, I didn't say it. I'm just getting that out there.
I know.
All right.
If you want to personally attack him, go ahead.
Yeah. What I said was that speculation it took a boost because a lot of people had free money at the time and nothing to do. If you lived through the 80s, the speculation didn't start just a few like last year or the year before. Let's see. Okay, what you said is wrong. LOL. Why you're from Florida? Yeah. What I meant is I didn't say that. Nobody's arguing that speculation didn't begin with the stimulus checks. I actually was a bit of a speculator in the 80s, 90s. I think a lot of people my age were. It just came with the territory. That was at the time of the big speculator boom. CGC was bought out by Wall Street firm this year. CBCS is owned by PSA. Wait a second, isn't that no, it's CBSI.
There was one. I remember it was like some black market, or not black market, but it was like the name of it had black in it, and they were buying it or had controlling share. So I have to look up the article. It was like it was in bleeding or Bounty in the Comics. It was a big article, and maybe it was a rumor. I don't know.
I've heard of PGX. It's still family owned, and there's a couple other comic rating. Yeah, I heard of PGX. I haven't heard of. Yeah, I think I've heard of CBCS. I saw that on YouTube.
That was a new one.
YouTube and eBay. Yeah. For a second, I thought "Speculate" was that Warren G song, but it was "Regulate." What's speculation on Spider-Man comics? Before the movie comes out. Somebody on that forum I was showing you guys actually said, what's a good book to invest in? And I put out, I hear there's going to be a Spider-Man movie, so you might want to invest in Amazing Fantasy 15.
Yeah. So I heard that Tobey Maguire is going to be in a movie again. He's the one with the web shooting out of his arms.
Mm-hmm.
So go pick up Spider-Man the other. That's going to go up in price.
There you go. Yes, it will be the first. Hey, yeah, that's something. There you're very right. Tobey Maguire was based on the Ultimate Spider-Man, right?
No, that was
much like the X-Men, who have had 15 movies. Speculators are going crazy over X-Men books because they might make an appearance in the MCU. Now, the Ultimate Spider-Man is finally going to be into the MCU. That means Ultimate Spider-Man #1 should make a
Ultimate Spider-Man, and I said Spider-Man the other because Andrew Garfield was the Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh, this is the first MCU appearance of the Green Goblin. So finally, the first appearance of Green Goblin is going to be worth something.
And 1936's Amazing Spider-Man #2. You need that as well.
That's right. The Vulture, Doc Ock. So you want to pick up issue #3. Finally, those issues are going to get some love.
So I guess I can stop looking in the dollar bins for ASM 14.
Right. Yeah.
Thanks for saving me a minute.
Yeah. We're finally going to pull out all those Silver Age Spider-Mans from the dollar bin. We're going to watch. They're in the MCU now. They're worth something.
Rhaegar,
we all know how precious those minutes are for E.
Rhaegar, don't worry. Andrew Garfield, it is, he just had a brain fart.
Yeah, thanks for giving me that insult off.
Architectural foam. Are you a member of the 4-Color Fossils as well, or at least are you a member of the comic book fossil crew like myself? Not Mr. Breen. Obviously, he's younger and more spry. He's got more hair and it's dark. There you go. Apparently, the sign of youth to you people is hair.
Kind of looks like a black and white Gene Wilder. The way I can.
Let's see. Did the Howard the Duck movie make those comics go up in value? I don't remember. Did I don't think I ever thought about the Howard the Duck comic books when I saw the movie. Thank goodness for the comics, because that movie sucked. Speculation, but Stiltman Comics, man, I am looking for #8. I really am. I've got #7. My comic shop has an issue #3.
I'm shocked they haven't introduced the Spider Slayers into the MCU. Any of the Spider-Man, Alistair Smythe.
Sinister 6 books are being bought up as well. That's good to know. It's good to know because Spider-Man, much like Moon Knight, has been undervalued for far too long. But thank God he finally made his appearance in the MCU and is now worth something.
I'm just glad that Spider-Man was never a dang Nazi. Only Captain America can be a Nazi and get away with it.
Mm-hmm. When Barf makes his first appearance, tell me, guys. Yeah,
that's how they solve everything. That's
when Barf makes his first appearance. That's if I see that issue going. Please. Now I want somebody to spend $300 on a first appearance.
Can we please get Barf in the MCU? I want just for E. Let's bring it in.
Yeah. How dare you? I loved Howard the Duck. Sorry. Sorry. I liked it when I was 12. I think I was 12 when it came out, 12 or 13. I liked it then. No, oh wait, no, I was 14, I think. Yeah, I thought it was all right.
Wasn't it 1985?
Okay, yeah, I was either 14 or 15 around that time. Didn't think much of it. I didn't hate it or anything. Go figure. That's the first Marvel movie. Think about that for a second. That's the first Marvel movie. Stan Lee, for 20 years at that point, wanted to have Marvel characters finally hit the big screen. He felt horrible that Superman made it to the screen before Spider-Man. And the first movie they were able to get out the gate was Howard the freaking Duck.
I figured out what I was talking about before with the whole thing. Blackstone Tactical Opportunities is basically, and also JC's company is going to be taking control of CGC. So Jay-Z is going to own CGC.
Really?
Yeah. That was an article that came out in June.
Fun.
And buy up those hip hop variants now.
You're gonna have Def Jam Marvel. Looks.
Marvel Adventure into Fear, 229 raw, 447 graded. That's something. How is that undervalued or just about right? Because to me, I'd say that's just about right. Because Howard the Duck is kind of a niche thing. I know a lot of people like to talk about him more than they like to read about him.
Yeah. Oh. Sheesh. Yeah, I've had 2 of those since I've been doing this, and I think I had like 20 on both of them. They were low grade, but
yeah.
So I don't know. By the way, Rob's happy. Yeah. The football team is going to win tonight.
Howard the Duck.
Yeah, the Redskins.
The Redskins. Joe saying that Leah Thompson was pretty hot back in the day. Go watch All the Right Moves. Halfway through, about 45 minutes, she does full frontal.
I'll just say this with Leah Thompson. Yeah, she's cute in Howard the Duck. And then I was traumatized because I thought she had sex with a duck.
Hey, remember when Leah Thompson worked at Kings Island and Greg Brady hit on her?
I do not.
Was that a sports moment?
No. The Brady Bunch episode of Kings Island. She's the...
I do remember. I do remember in All the Right Moves where she just drops cloth and she's standing there in the.
I'm thinking Tom Brady, the football player.
Some of us are a little. Some of us respect the all ages part of the stream more than others.
Okay, really. Howard has some decent.
What ages are you not including?
Get money for. You just need to find the right people who are crazy for Howard. There you go. Well, they got Kiss. He's got 13 and 14 has Kiss in Howard the Duck. So.
When Breen says all ages, he means anybody 50 and under cannot watch this because they don't know what they're talking about.
Right. That's something I didn't think we'd be talking about. Well, before the internet, I was useful because I could tell you what movie people got naked in very well. So then
you have a notebook, right?
Pardon?
You do have a notebook, right?
Yeah, but I don't keep that kind of information. I'm married. I don't keep that.
I mean, he does have a video record.
You had lists for everything.
Yeah, but not that. I'm married.
There's video confirmation.
I was caught up by the wife. Oh my
God. Breen, there is video confirmation. Check out the Halloween ranking they did a few years ago on Extreme Movie Show. The boob count.
We did kill count and boob count whenever we reviewed a slasher.
This was pre-Gale.
Yeah, that's true. That was back when me and Gail were still separated.
Honey, it's research.
Yep.
Rob made me do it.
Yeah. The Howard the Duck is that he got a good boob job. Yeah, that there was a duck in the beginning that had boobs and was naked. That's just so weird. It's what's weird about it is they like blurred out. It's like you could easily cut it out, but instead they blur it out if it's ever shown on TV. It's a freaking puppet. It's a duck puppet, and you blur it out. That's just weird. I don't know. That's just weird. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. This is a weird thing to be talking about. But yeah, that was the very first Marvel movie, man. It just doesn't go. Mrs. Englentine, so I just found this notebook.
Now, if you've already had Rex Smith as Daredevil, Howard the Duck is kind of an improvement.
Yeah, I don't know. He wasn't horrible. I thought the Thor was worse in the Incredible Hulk movies than the Daredevil. But John Rhys Davies, the guy who plays the dwarf in Lord of the Rings, played the Kingpin in that movie, and he was all right.
Yep.
So at least you got that. But what you gonna do?
So
what comics are we reading these days, kids? We're being asked that. I don't think I'm reading anything new, to tell you the truth. I've got a pile of new books that I just haven't touched in about 2 weeks. They're so old now.
Let's see. I'll put my
I just read the first couple of issues of Army of Darkness 1979. I'm reading that Jack Kirby book that I showed off. I'm focusing more on that than anything else. Yeah. I'm about to read Common America, Volume 1. Because Tim was kind enough. So I think reading that and doing a show on it would be awesome.
Like I said, my pull list for this week is gonna be Daredevil number 36, Jennifer Blood from Dynamite number 3, Xenoscope, and I'm doing that Myth and Legends quarterly number 5, Blade Runner 2029 issue number 10 is coming out, back issue 132. If you love history about comic books and stuff, read that.
I would recommend to everybody look up the history of comics.
VENKMAN, who's on the cover of back issue 132?
It's Wolverine.
Okay, now do you have that handy?
I don't have the actual book myself, but I do have it pulled up on my thing. I get screen share.
Oh! It's coming this week.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think Jerry's got an article in that one.
Nice.
If there's a Punisher article, I think that's the one that that issue's coming
let's
out.
see.
Oh, I started reading Catwoman, Her Sister's Keeper, which is a really good story as well. Sometimes I'll just grab a book, randomly start reading it, but
yeah, there is a Punisher in there. They're talking about Claremont, Miller, Rubenstein. Black Panther, the Falcon, FF versus X-Men, Iceman, Machine Man, Magic, Punisher, X-Men versus Avengers, and more. And when they say X-Men versus Avengers, they mean the original one, not the crappy one.
It's either that one or the next one. I know he's got an article coming in one of the next two.
But this has the Punisher as a subtitle thing in there. It could be that.
Well, the one he did an article on was one with the Stephen Grant early stuff. So I don't know if that one may have already come out. I should know that.
There was the one previous before this was the Etrigan with Grant, Demon, Kamandi, Omek, Sandman, and more, featuring Bissett, Byrne, Golden, Grant, and Thomas.
Okay, let's see. And Black Lotus, I saw your message. I do have all the books. They've been waiting here. So as soon as you're ready, I'll send them there. Let's see. I'm reading mostly indies, says Miss So, and some Dark Horse with a dash of manga thrown in. So bored with.
He froze again. I'm like, did I just freeze my own internet?
Yeah, he's kind of in between this time.
DC and Marvel right now. Can you hear me at least? Okay,
yes.
there you go.
Now we can.
At this point, I could hear you guys, but I saw it going out again.
When it was just me and you on here first, I noticed that you were really fuzzy when you were reading an article.
Yeah, and you were roboting. I guess it was mine internet, not yours, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
It's Floridian internet. I've noticed that because Rob has that, and sometimes Pixel has that too. It's just I don't know what it is. You guys just share all the internet at the same time.
I don't know. I checked. Ashley's not on playing games or anything like that. There's just nothing going on.
You could. I mean, if you're paying, I found out that that I thought I was paying for the highest internet speed I have here, but it turns out they'd bumped me down lower, so I wasn't paying as much. That explained why my bill was lower, cheaper. I'm like, oh, I thought. I mean, after a while, a couple of years, they decrease. It's like car insurance.
And I will be checking this out periodically because just awesome. But holy crap, this is going to be a task to read it from beginning to end. So,
well, yeah, Sheena, Queen of the Jungle #2 comes out.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Which actor? Go ahead, Eric.
Listen, I read issue 1, and boy, does she have a bad attitude.
Black Lotus is asking, which actor now do you think could play Wolverine, but you don't get to pick Hugh Jackman? Now, I've already stated mine. I know it's a little bit controversial, but what's his name? The High School Musical kid.
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron. I would pick him.
I mean, what's wrong with what's his name? Mel Gibson.
The Eastwood kid. Nah, I want to make it a little bit younger, at least in their 30s. I don't want to go too old, and Mel Gibson is too damn old.
He's Australian, though.
He's too damn old.
I picked that guy from the second Space Jam sequel.
LeBron James?
You watched? You're not talking LeBron James.
No,
Okay, I was like,
that was a joke.
But either that or the Eastwood kid.
Scott Eastwood.
Yeah, I think he could do it.
You know, he walks around with a cigar in his mouth. He's been, so I mean,
Mm.
he's been, that's the thing though. He takes roles that, I don't know if it's he's just a bad actor or if he just takes the crappiest roles.
I think that's the case. Yeah, I really do. I think also my thinking is that he's trying to avoid nepotism. In all honesty, and he's not as good as his dad, and he's not as either. So, I don't know.
Miss So old man. I wanted to have old man Logan, future old man Logan. Yes, like they had dystopian one with Mel Gibson, where he's crazy and grumpy.
Howdy, God, anyone find a suspicion that RDV's pull is very similar to Froggy's? Huh. That is something. And you never see them in the room together.
That is weird, though. People are actually following Froggy. That's weird. That's a conspiracy right there.
Hold on. My bell rang. It's probably Ashley ordering dinner without us.
No. The two books you can always count on for good stuff is The Walking Dead Deluxe. For those, I mean, they're in issue 28. But if you can find you can collect most of it. You know, you may have to pay a couple. Was it the first issue? Probably up to $50 now. If that's in color. But if you've been collecting them, I mean, you should. I mean, I would have jumped on a long time ago. Like if I were you, because these are collector books. And if you don't own the original one, sadly, I pass it up too, Brain. Not just you. You passed up a signed copy though.
No, just passed up a number one.
Wasn't he at the? But you said he was at the. I thought he was at the comic book store signing books.
He's from Kentucky, so he used to shop there on occasion.
Oh, okay.
Which is why Paul begged me to buy it.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, the Walking Dead Deluxe. They're releasing every single issue in color, and plus you're getting director stuff, and plus the original covers in the back, plus new covers, variant stuff. It's in little notes from Kirkman. Collect that, and then I said back issue.
No,
back issue is like $9.95, and then
I'm just purely not buying it out of spite now.
Well, no.
What are you not buying?
Walking Dead.
Oh no, but no, the magazines books they have out now right now. They also have Shudder. Shudder is one out there now. I'm sure he's gonna pull one out.
I am. The next issue isn't coming out until April.
I was looking to see when the Vampiress Carmilla, which is pretty much a play on Vampirella. The next issue doesn't come out till this month. It's been like they're doing it like almost they were doing it monthly or bi-monthly. I know it was.
Yeah.
And then this one, for some reason, they decided to wait a whole entire month for the next issue, which isn't that bad because it saves me $10 for that month. But the magazine, the old style ones, they are awesome. And then for those, there's another thing: if you've never collected those before, you actually have an opportunity, and you're not getting blackout crap.
That's something you just don't see nowadays. So I figured I would show you a character you don't get to see every.
A guy who's
his name's
Adam?
Blackout. He was in a few. He was in a few issues in the 80s. Let's see. What are we? Let's see. Architectural Sandy dug on to the Golden Age. So I'm going to say this. Please join us on Friday. We're going to start doing some Christmas comics, and we're going to be hitting the Silver and Golden Age to do it. I believe it was Eric who was spouting off our itinerary last week, so we'll be stopping by some of those and checking it out. On Fridays, we do very bad high school style readings of these comics. It's a lot of fun. Usually Eric's taking the narration and we split up each character so it goes like a chapter play. A lot of fun. What else?
Your buddy's not happy right now. When I said that they had just taken a touchdown away from Washington, and Seattle just went down and scored, and they're a 2-point conversion away from tying.
And the Redskins should be the Redskins. They'd be braver and better. There you go. So yeah, our Fridays are going to be those. Tomorrow, guess we could do another covering, or we could do another top 10, something along those lines. Covering comics and top 10s are where you guys get to choose the top 10 of whatever. Like we'll pick a character and we'll go through the covers and pick out the best of them. I'm working on the Wonder Woman covering comics that'll be out on Old Man Comics on Wednesday. Tomorrow is the top 10 independent comics. So join us tomorrow at 9-ish. And let's see. Do you have anything going on there, Venk?
For tomorrow, I think Extreme Movie Show, we're covering Death Wish 2. And I believe this Sunday, Ninja 3 the Domination, because in the poll right now, if you haven't voted yet, go vote at Extreme Movie Show Community Center, little tab. After this stream here, go over there, click on the community tab, click on the poll. You can still vote. I think it's still open, but you can vote for which canon movie we're gonna review. And right now, Ninja's losing. Sorry, okay, if you're listening. And he said the correct answer is Ninja for anything, but
okay,
it's not winning.
Rhaegar saying, yeah, bad high school style readings like the comic where Superman met Spider-Man and juggled an African tribe just to be friendly. And yes, that is true. That did happen. Superman did juggle an entire African tribe to impress Spider-Man. Those are the fun things you learn when you join us on Fridays to hear about a good good old-fashioned silver, bronze, or golden age comic book. So,
well, if you can jump on, he says goodbye and we wait 40 minutes.
That is true. Our goodbyes have lasted 2 days. So
Brain's like, no.
You never know. He's overgoing the football game.
They the 2-point conversion, Wilson throws a pick, and then they just recovered the onside kick, so they still have a chance to make Rob miserable. This is an amazing last couple minutes.
There you go.
Sorry.
No worries, man. No worries.
Nice excuse.
I can back up Dominic to say that the Power Rangers Shattered Grid was a good story. I'm not even a Power Rangers fan, but I thought that was pretty decent. Don't forget to go check out the Froggy and Puppetine channel. There, they do their readings as well. Join us tomorrow
for whatever it was he said we were going to do.
I still say we should do a top 10 comics that Breen wouldn't buy.
How about top 10 freezes from Monday night's stream?
Nah, I want to do a top 10 books that Breen, we're getting comic book shop. Top 10 books you would never buy. I know it's a lot, but you got to choose 10. The ones you never want to touch.
Well, I probably won't be there tomorrow night, but
I'm just saying you got to put a poll list together.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Yeah. So Geeky Puppet Show, yes. Those guys, they did a recording, or actually a live stream last night. The first 2 issues of the Fraction Hawkeye run, bro.
Yes, top 10 grails from the last 5 years. Yeah, that might take 5 years to do.
The top 10 postcards of E. Even Black Cat is gone. You can talk.
Once again, we have been asked to pick up the ball and run with it. So let's see, VENKMAN, what are you watching these days?
Actually, I was gonna check out the Hot Zone season 2 finally dropped. That's the one that's on Hulu right now.
What is the Hot Zone, pray tell?
Well, the first one was about the 1989 Ebola coming in the United States. This one is 6 issues talking about the anthrax attacks. Came out in 2001 after 9/11. Julia Margolis, the one that played the nurse on ER opposite of Clooney.
Well, she was also wasn't she the Good Wife?
I didn't watch that one, but I get the confused with Kristen Bell, The Good Place. Now, trying to think what else. Well, Hawkeye. I mean, I don't know if that's gonna drop weekly now. That's Wednesdays.
Didn't that Blade Runner episode 4 come out?
I'm behind an episode. I'm sure it probably did come out, but Blade Runner Lotus.
Yeah.
And
great.
thank you very, very much for watching. God dang it.
While you were away, the refs got together and made him kick off again, and the Redskins recovered, and now Rob's happy.
Serious?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Heck of the last 5 minutes.
That's almost as good
Aliens.
as the Weather Report.
Yeah, aliens came to Earth, greeted us, and then left again.
Well, they were looking for E.
They couldn't find him.
Yeah, we're out.
Go
They
figure.
tuned into this channel, and they said, "Where's E?" And they're like, "Well, we're gone. Can't
So
wait."
who is watching Batgirl? They're making a Batgirl movie.
Well, no one is. It's on break.
Are you talking about Batwoman?
Oh, there is a Batgirl show supposed to come out on HBO Max, I think, or a
That's a
movie.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard that, but I know it's not out yet.
It's
Oh.
not out yet. They haven't even gotten the costume yet.
Who is going to be watching She-Hulk?
Oh, I will. Absolutely. I'll give it a try.
And-
Hopefully it's good.
Kamala Khan with the energy fist
I hope.
because they don't want to spend the money on the stretch powers.
Yeah,
It's for toys, most likely.
right. Of course. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I can't even say that I'm excited for that one. I want it to be good. I do, but with what they're doing, I don't see it. I just don't see it, gang. I'm sorry.
So I looked up the whole thing with Greer and supposed to be in Hawkeye, the first episode, on Kate's phone when she's doing the bell tower scene on her phone, texting. One of the names says Greer.
Oh,
You know.
okay.
So it's that's so her one of her friends is supposed to be Tigra.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's it. I've seen speculators go crazy for less, so you never know. You never know.
Or she's
Alrighty.
planning to hook up with Richard Gere.
Yeah, that might be it. You really should be picking up. Speculators should be going after those DVDs of 21 Jump Street. That's what they should be looking for.
Richard Grieco is going to be on there. He's going to be
Yeah.
Captain America.
All righty, kids. Y'all have a great time. Thanks for hanging out. Remember to join us tomorrow 9-ish for either a covering comics or a top 10. Oh, no. Kind of flying by the seat of my pants, like always.
shooting Greer.
That's a big ass seat. But also make sure you're with us on Friday because we're going to be doing a Silver Age Christmas comic of some sorts. And then in the next 3 days, we're going to finish up the conversation with Tristan from Nerdette's Newsstand. I've got the last 3 chapters. So I
Also,
hope
Friday,
guys
if you want to
can
read with
join
us,
those.
let us know. The more people we have on, the
That is
less
true.
rules for all of us.
Yeah, that's true. If you actually want to be one of the characters, if you have a decent mic, join in.
Don't let Miranda take all the female roles, all 20 of them.
Right. Yeah, we do need female readers. And let's see, if you haven't checked out the first 3 chapters of the conversation between me and Tristan from Nerdette's Newsstand, they are posted here on the channel, so check it out. And as always, thank you for hanging out with us. And thank you very, very much for watching. You kids have a great night.